Peace and Yah bless. Yah is the strong one. The strong one is Yah. He's the tree of life. He's the fountain of living waters. He's the spirit and the creator of all things that live and breathe. On this particular discourse, I'm going to talk about rebellious Israel. The rebellious stiff-neck Israel. All right. As many of you all know, we've already proven with facts, with this book of remembrance, Black Americans are Israel, Israelites, Hebrew Israelites. Once again, that's not a religion. It's not a religious faction or any such matter like that. Okay? We're the children of God who broke the covenant. Stiff-necked and rebellious people. In Deuteronomy 28, he talks about how we came over here on those slave ships to America. And there's not been any other record of any other people coming over to America, keyword, right, and to the four corners of the earth on slave ships other than the transatlantic slave trade of Black American people. Tribe of Yehuda, right? Tribe of Levi, Benjamin, etc., etc. Now the northern tribes, because that represents the southern faction, right, of tribes. Now the northern tribes, all those are still in the Middle East, and maybe a few, sprinkle down into Africa, some places like that. But that's pretty much it. That's where we are in the world today. And as many of you already know, by Ezekiel 16, chapter 16, verse 55, Yah set out a plan of an exodus to remove us from the four corners of the earth, to bring us back home in waves, and he's done that. And that's why we have the children of Israel in Dimona, Israel today. And we have the PLO factions. Like I said, we don't know how many of them are actually Israel. But we know that the bulk of them definitely represent the northern tribes of Israel, dealing with Mahmoud Abbas and, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, okay? Because, they do have Arabs amongst them. But this particular discourse is about whether or not Black Americans, I'm going to talk to you all, whether or not you will hear or forbear Yah. Not that you hearing and forbearing me. Because, when you all hear a servant, you place all the, the blame on the servant. And sometimes it's Yah speaking to you through that servant or through his words. I'm talking about true servants of Yah, not no idolatry, not somebody directing you to worship something else. Okay, Yahweh Shai, Yahushua, or whatever, different names they come with, for basically, it's basically the same as Jesus. You know what I mean? Just a black version of. So, we're a stiff-necked people. You read that back in Exodus. The Most High talks about, our people. How we have this problem with being rebellious towards Him, especially towards God. Whenever He asks, the people to do a thing, all right? All right, I'm here in Ezekiel chapter number 2. And the Most High begins telling, Ezekiel before he goes to speak to the people what he's going to run into. The same way he did with Jeremiah, the same way he did with Isaiah, whenever you read the books of the prophets, right? You read about these same things, man. Okay? And this is before we got, carted off, into Babylon. Because the northern tribes, they were so naughty, the Most High took them out with the Assyrians. Okay? And then we were left in the land, and we got carted off because we did worse than the northern tribes. And that's where you get Ezekiel 16 from, when it opens up talking about Jerusalem and her sins, how we did worse than what they would call our sisters, right? That's what it calls it. The other movements, our sister movements, how we did worse than them, okay? And how we kind of forwarded, the rebellion by doing what we did to Yah, right? How we pierced the Most High. The Most High puts it, I believe, in the book of Zechariah, how we pierced him, you know what I mean? All right? Anyway, so let's go to verse 3. Now he's talking to the prophet Ezekiel. And he said unto me, Son of man, I will send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation. You see that? A rebellious nation that have rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this very day. And that is the exact truth. Wow. Okay. For they are imputed children and stiff-hearted. Stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them. And thou shalt say unto them, thus saith Yah God. See, you don't, anybody speaking in any other name, you're not supposed to, listen to them. Unless they saying, thus saith Yah, they're not to be paid attention to. Okay? They can't come out their own mouth with their own stuff. They have to speak in the name of God. If they're not speaking in the name of God, then that man no need paying attention to them. Okay? Verse 5. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there had been a prophet among them. He said they're going to know there had been a prophet. He's talking about Ezekiel. Okay, they're going to know. Moses said they're going to know. When you speak in my name, they're going to know, right? And thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words. Though briars and thorns be with thee, and thou doest dwell among scorpions, be not afraid of their words. Be not dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. See that? Okay? Rebellious, man. Verse 7. And thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. For they are a most rebellious. They are rebellious people. Talking about black people in general. Okay? And you know that. Anybody who deals with black people generally knows that already. They're rebellious, man. Okay? Rebellious people. You ask them to do something, they never want to do nothing. Or whatever the case is. Okay? Or they want to do something their way. Alright? So he's warning Ezekiel ahead of time, telling him what's going to happen. So, man, people are rebellious, man. Rebellious house of people. But you go speak in my name anyway. And that's what we do, man. We speak in the Most High's name anyway to y'all, And I'm speaking right now to you anyway. I don't care about your hard looks. I don't care about your hard words about me. Say whatever you want to say. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I'm still going to speak, in the name of Yah. I don't speak in any name, any other name of any other idol or any of that stuff people speak in the name of or pray in the name of. You're supposed to be praying in the name of Yah only. When you thank God for your food, you thank Yah, after you consume it, not before you consume it like people do, in tradition. Okay, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but generally after you receive something, then you thank the person. You don't thank them ahead of time, right? Okay? You thank them after you get something. Okay? Verse 5. Now listen to this very close. This is what the Most High tells Ezekiel. Okay, listen. Let's go to verse 4. And he said unto me, son of man, go, get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak my words unto them. Okay? For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech. Right? In other words, a language that's not, he can't understand. For they are not sent to a people of a strange speech and of a hard language, but to the house of Israel. In other words, it should be easy, right? Verse number 6. Not to many people of a strange speech, you know what I mean? Or of a hard language, whose words thou canst not understand. Now look what the Most High said. Because he said, if you were sent to them, look what he says, surely had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee. They would have listened. That's what the Most High is talking about. Then with black folks, he like, look, man, you ain't sent to nobody that's foreign or strange, or they got a foreign language you can't understand. But he said, had I sent you to the foreigners or the stranger or the heathen, they gonna hearken. They gonna listen. Okay? It's like what I'm saying on here on these videos, man. The heathen, most of them are hearkening to me. They listening. Okay? Then they go on doing their own research like I asked them to go do. And then they're beginning to discover the truth. Okay? Because it's, I'm kind of the person, they're the rough ashler. And I'm the person who's, smoothing them. I'm smoothing, they're the stone and I'm smoothing them over, with these words of Yah. I'm squaring them, I'm making them square. You see what I'm saying? Fair and square. You see what I'm saying? All right? If you want to make a reference like that. But this is a very important thing he's saying right here, man. He said, had I sent you to, he said, I sent you to the house of Israel, whose language you understand their language. Okay? He said, man, he said, I'm not sending you to a people of a strange speech or a hard language whose words you don't understand. But he said, surely, had I sent you to them, they would have hearkened. They would have listened. Okay? So that's the problem we run into today. Our people will not hearken. They will not listen. When we come and we speak in the name of Yah, I'm not talking about speaking in any other name. I'm talking about only in the name of Yah. Because, the heathen, they listening right now. Trust and believe they are. They acting like they can't hear me, but believe me, they hearing every word I say, even where I'm at right now in this room. In this very room, trust and believe, they hear me all the time. I'm talking about a lot of people, okay? From the top of the triangle down to who knows, right? Anybody in general. All right? But that's a shame that our people are rebellious like that. But I got to speak to you whether you hear or whether you forbear. And I don't care if you like what I'm saying. I don't care if you can dig it. Because I'm not here to tell you smooth things. Because, in this book, you read about that in Isaiah where they tell Isaiah, look, man, prophesy unto us deceit. Tell us smooth things, man. Don't tell us about Yah. We don't want to hear that, man. We like listening to the pastors and the preachers. We not trying to hear about Yah, man. See, that's Israel. See that? So Israel by their ways, man. Okay? But we in a time period now where people are starting to listen, man. Their ears are perking up now. You know what I mean? Even the heathen. Even if they lost into some kind of idolatry, if they go in a church or a mosque or a synagogue or whatever, they listening. Even Esau, I'm going to tell you this secret here. Even Esau over in the land is listening right now. Trust and believe that the rabbis are listening. The top of the triangle's listening. The houses of Windsor, they all listening. Because they seeing it. Because I'm assigned to these people, yet I'm alive, Many people wanted me dead, but I'm still here with you. That's a sign from Yah. Okay? So it's time for people to listen, whoever you are, especially the rebellious house of Israel. When I speak in the name of God, the name of Yah, the Holy One of Israel. I'm not speaking in the name of Zechariah. I'm speaking in the name of Yah. I'm speaking right from this book of remembrance. Okay? Whenever y'all see me do these videos, it's right on the book. I show you exactly where I am each time. So you can go there in the Bible yourself and look and check things out and research yourself and prove it to yourself. Okay? I don't just take a verse and then just take off, talking. I read directly from this book. And so can you. But I'm trying to get to the rebellious house of Israel, especially those in Dimona, Israel. Some more rebellious people, man. That surprised me, man. They down with this idolatry, man. Worshiping the black woman. Yeah, we heard about that all the way over here in America, man. That's a shameful thing y'all doing over there, man. You ought to be ashamed of y'allselves. And your leaders ought to be ashamed for even going along with such a practice. But I know how it go, man. Every time they pull some money out, people don't care no more. They stop caring. They put God to the side for their own vanity. Yeah. That's a shameful thing, man. Because we know that Yah, the main, if you go to Deuteronomy, maybe 20 something, when you read in there, it tells you our main job, Deuteronomy 12, we do what? When we come back to the land, we come back to eliminate all idolatry, because Yah's not ever going to come to the third temple with, sitting next to any idolatry. Okay? No church houses, no mosques, no synagogue, none of that. All that stuff has to be gotten rid of. Because it has to be a pure worship of Yah going on this earth. And the people ought to be glad. The elite actually was doing y'all a favor by shutting y'all down for a little while, right? Because what they tried to tell the world was, man, all that stuff in them houses of idolatry ain't real. Or we let you go, even if you are sick. Because I guess, the way they see it is if people was getting sick or whatever the case is, they should have been up in the church praying, right? That should have been the main place open, right? But it was the main place shut. Why? See? God sometimes he delivers his message in a powerful way. Even if it's a cruel message, right? All right, then. Think about that for a minute. It ain't always going to be the message don't come to you always, cool. You know what I mean? It doesn't get the Most High don't get down like that. All right. He delivers the message however he sees forth. But, all this idolatry that exists within our people, man, it's time for it to stop. It's time for us to worship Yah and Yah alone and nothing else. That's all he's ever asked of our nation. That was the contract made at Mount Sinai. Okay? That was the contract. All right? That our ancestors broke. And that's why we are here in America in captivity today. Okay? Even though the 400 years has expired. But now the Yah is getting ready to trigger the Exodus somewhere in here. Okay? He's going to trigger the Exodus. It's time for us to go home. But we got to go home right, man. Okay? We can't take home idolatries and idols and birthdays and, Easters and whatever else, Halloweens and all that stuff. Man, that stuff ain't going to exist no more. It's all heathen holidays anyway. If you go look it up, if the average person will Google what that stuff means, they'll find it out, man. Lupercalia and Saturnalia, Christmas, right? Ain't nothing but sexual orgies, man. That's all it is. Okay? Or the Yule tide. Go look and see what the Yule tide is. The Yule, man. All right? It ain't nothing but Satanism, man, on high levels. Okay? And you check out the Pope. The Pope got them Baphomet fingers up in a lot of photos. And a lot of these world leaders got them Baphomet fingers up, Okay, we're not sure the exact meaning of what they actually truly mean, but we know, generally most Satanists are the ones, they throw the Baphomet fingers, at the star, right? The pentagram, right? During their rituals and stuff, you know what I mean? So you got to be careful, man, whether they doing it in fun or not. But, Israel is a stiff-necked people, rebellious. And now you guys know, man. Okay, now you know, rebellious people, man. That's what he was talking to Ezekiel about before Ezekiel went to speak with our people. The same way, the same thing happened with Jeremiah. The same thing happened with Isaiah. And they ran into the same exact problems. But Jeremiah was able to witness what? The Babylonians come in 606 BCE and start taking out our people. I'm talking about removing them out of the land and took them into that captivity all the way down to 586 BCE when the temple was destroyed of Solomon. That's right. Yah called the temple his own house to be taken down because he didn't want to deal with Israel no more. Okay? But as the Most High told Ezekiel, had he sent Ezekiel to the stranger, to the heathen, they would have hearkened. They would have listened. And that's what we hope is going on now. Okay? That they hearkening and they listening because we know all of Israel's not going to return, man. They're not going to turn back to Yah. And that's why I'm right here in Isaiah 56. And that's where the Most High begins talking to the stranger, right? Like I told you guys in the last video, okay? All right? Because the stranger's not going to be able to say that. Now, when it says a stranger, it don't mean everybody. Now, if you into something that is not conducive to righteousness, the Most High is not talking to you whether you are a stranger or not. Okay? All right? Now, let me go to verse 3. Neither let the son of the stranger that have joined himself to Yah speak, saying, Yah have utterly separated me from his people. Okay? So that's the key. The stranger's not going to be able to say that because the stranger's going to be joined to us. That's Isaiah 14, right? Right? Okay? But that's not going to be said. All right? Verse 5, okay, of Isaiah 56. Even unto them will I give mine house, and within my walls a place. Check out the Most High says he going to do for the stranger if they'll do what he say do. Okay? Keep his Sabbath day and keep his ordinances, right? All right? What did he say? He going to give them a name better than the sons of Israel and the daughters of Israel. Okay? I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. Okay? When you join yourself unto Yah, you doing it correctly. Now I'm talking about Strange, I'm talking about the heathen nations themselves, all right, Gentiles, okay, and some of the Hebrew factions, because some of the Hebrew factions are Gentiles because they don't come out of Abraham. They come out of different brothers of Abraham, but not Abraham himself. Really just Jacob and Esau, okay? But the rest of them Hebrew factions are basically categorized as Gentiles, okay, or the heathen, okay? But he said, because they'll listen. And when they start listening, the Most High said, look, man, I'm gonna give you a name better than sons and daughters of Israel, because they will not listen. Okay? So I'm gonna give you an everlasting name. You're not gonna be cut off, all right? When the Most High, starts dropping this sword sometime soon. You're already dropping it, really. Okay? So very important. But he asked you to do something. Also, the sons and strangers that join themselves to Yah to serve him and to love his name, right? Love his name, to be his servants. Everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it and takes hold of his covenant. He said, what? Even them I will bring to my holy mountain, right? And make them joyful in my house of prayer. And their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar. The biggest verse in here, right? For mine house shall be called a house of prayer for all people. Now, it's talking about all of the people, yes, but, of course, not people doing, something weird, not talking about LGBT groups, cross-dressing, this and that, gay lifestyles, all that. No, that's not what the Most High is talking about. Okay, those things have to be abolished and got rid of, and one day will be, in the future, because the Most High is not the one who sanctioned that. Man himself sanctioned that. And don't worry, these generations right now are not the only ones who have ever done that. That goes all the way back to the Canaanites. I'm talking about the very beginning. Okay, the Canaanites. They were doing that same exact stuff before the Israelites took over the land, which was called Canaan back then. That's what they were doing in the land. So the Most High removed them out of the land of Israel before we got there. And that's how we got to come into the land. All right, going on back to Abraham, et cetera, et cetera. Go read the book of Genesis. You hear about these kind of things. Okay? So, but everybody else who's doing, the law of Yah, doing it correctly, especially you strangers who listening now, Yah said, look, man, I'll give you a better name than my own sons and daughters. Than my own people whom he called, right? To the stranger. That's the promise he gives the stranger if you do right. But a lot of y'all got bad hearts. You know what I mean? All right. Very important. Now let's move over to Isaiah chapter number 6. But let's talk about this one thing. On your journey from and out of idolatry and religions. This is for generally, I'm going to say anybody, but mostly for Black Americans. You start off in these religions. You're brought up into it, you're born into it, if the case is. When you find this truth, I'm going to say Black people in particular, your second stage is going to be an Israelite group. Because that's where you're going to hear from, what they call camps and all that. You're going to end up into that. Okay? I'm talking about 95% of people end up right here. Okay? This is where they end up at, listening to those guys. And then at some point, whenever you get more knowledge, you'll end up going to Yah. And you'll figure out, I'm supposed to be following Yah. I put 13%, of these people right here make it down to this category right here. Just following Yah. That's the third step. Following Yah alone. Listening to his voice. The true God. Following his voice. That's it. That's generally the way it goes, Now, some people can get from here and just go to here, but very few can. Because, they be so locked up into this, because they've been doing it since they're a child, right? That it's hard for them to get from religions over to the Hebrew Israelite groups, who basically teaching the same thing as religions, most of them, right? Okay? But the key is to get down to here, to where you following Yah and Yah alone. Okay? All right? Simple as that. Now here in Isaiah 6, and this is the end of the video, okay? Last thing I'm going to say. All right? Very, very important, okay? verse number 13. But in it, it's talking about the land of Israel, because, the preceding verses talk about how the Most High was going to remove us out of the land. He's telling Isaiah how that was going to happen, okay? And Yah have removed men far away, right? And there should be a great forsaking in the midst of the land, okay? But yet in it, the land of Israel shall be a tenth, right? And it shall return, right? Okay? And shall be eaten as a teil tree and as an oak, whose substance is in them. When they cast their leaves, so the holy seed shall be the substance thereof. Talking about when we get back to the land. Okay, but he's talking about the men, how the men are not all going to return back. It didn't say the women wasn't going to turn back. The black woman, I think she gonna get back to Yah, even though she's playing the game right now. She gonna get back to Yah. But it said the men, the Most High said the men gonna have a hard time. So he bases on a tenth of the men who find the truth. They gonna return. You know what I mean? They're gonna return back to the land. Okay, and produce the holy seed children. Like I told you, we're just repairs of the breach. Okay, what breach? The contract breach. When we broke the contract, our ancestors who broke the contract, because it's been breached all these years, even all the way up to this day. And it's going to stay breached until the Most High makes the brand new, everlasting new covenant with us and with all of mankind, right? Okay? All right? But only a tenth. That's not a whole lot of men. It's not a whole lot of men, which takes you over to Isaiah chapter 4, right? A couple pages over, right? It tells you what? And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach, right? Because they like, yo, we want a husband, straight up. All right? That's what they're saying, right? We want a husband. So they're like, yo, we got to share. We'll share. We don't care about all that. They're not worried about no sharing, sharing sex. Women getting a twist over that when it comes, to these relationships dealing with, when a man can have more than one wife. That's really the only thing they really worry about. They don't care about all the rest of it. It's just that part, right? But you see here in chapter 4 where it's predicted. It's going to happen. 7 women are going to take hold of one man because there ain't going to be enough men to go around, okay? During that day. That's why it says, and in that day, which means in the future. Not going to be enough men to go around. So they like, yo, hey, we don't care about that, the bad part. We just want a husband, okay? So we got our own money, and we got our own clothes, but we just want a husband. We ain't caring about all the rest of that to take away our shame. We need a husband, okay? So that's, in a tenth of the men only returning back, man, over there in chapter 6. I mean, that's deep, man. Okay? That's going to return back to Yah. You know what I mean? And be able to stay in the land. Right? Only a tenth. Wow, that's deep, man. It's very deep. So that's all I have to say on this particular discourse. Like I said, quit being rebellious, Israel. Okay? Return back to Yah and Yah alone. Okay? Like I said, your journey might look like this. Okay? You're in religions. Then you end up in an Israelite group or a camp. But you got to come up out of that and end up right here. And just be following Yah alone. Okay? A religion is not required to follow God. Okay? Yah. You just do what he asks you to do. Out of this instruction booklet that they call what? The Torah, some call it, the Book of Remembrance. The Tanakh. All right? Because at the NT, you don't need to visit that. That's only an agenda, okay? No need to visit that. But thank you all for listening. Like I said, get back to Yah. And don't ever, ever, ever fall into idolatry or let idolatry be set up in the land. Talking to those people in Damona, Israel. Man, y'all got to be responsible right now. Y'all got to be hitting on all your cylinders right now because we getting ready to get there. And when we get there, man, we're going to be coming back to build the temple, build the city. It's going to be it's going to be a great day in Israel when we get there, man. Okay? It ain't just about us coming back with the elite. We're not worrying about that. We're worrying about just getting there, okay? When we get there, and then, we'll hit the ground running. You know what I'm saying? Doing our thing. Doing all these things that Yah ask us to do. Getting rid of all the idolatry that's there. And preparing the way for Yah. Okay? And assembling all the rest of our people who are of our people and the stranger with us, you know what I mean, in the land. Giving out lots and assigning lots. I'm telling you, man, it's going to be a great day. We have a magnificent plan. Magnificent, all right? Thank you all for listening. So Damona Israel, hear my voice when I'm speaking. Okay, no idolatry, no black woman, man. Okay, the black woman, you got to be a wife. Learn how to do that, man. Learn how to be a good wife. All the rest of that stuff ain't necessary, man. Because any idols or idol worship is taken out, see? So if there's any idols in the land, we're going to eliminate you when we get there. That's a part of the job. All right? So thank you guys for listening. Heed to my words. Because I'm just like Ezekiel. I'm just like Jeremiah. I'm just like Isaiah and Micah and on Malachi and on, Amos and Joel, okay? I'm just like that. I'm going to deliver the word. I don't care about your hard looks. I don't care about your hard speech. I don't care about you talking about me. Whatever the case is, don't really matter. End of the day, this word of Yah going to get delivered right to your face, okay? Simple as that, all right? You better heed, Israel, black Americans. You better heed, because your time to heed is almost up, and then Yah's going to judge. All right? Thank you all for listening. Peace. God bless.